Hi y'all, it's Charlene from the Crafty Art Shack, and today we got some cute little deer pieces that we're going to make to go with that deer garland that we had on this video right here. And let's get to the craft desk and get started because these are just too cute. Alright you guys, here we are at the craft desk, and what I have got is a night light from the Dollar Tree. And I couldn't find two of the same, but this one is a Mickey Mouse and one's Avenger. I'm just taking the bottom piece of the nightlight off and taking the round disc. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand on that for two reasons. One, I want the glue to stick to it really good. And number two was because the plasticky picture that was on there wasn't on there real good, and it was already peeling up. So I took that and sanded it, wiped it off really good, and now what I'm doing is turning it upside down on my piece of paper, and I'm going to trace it out. And my paper has somewhat of a design at the bottom that's kind of looks rustic, so I want to make sure that that's what I'm getting in the circle of my project. So I'm going to just take my pencil, trace around it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And as soon as I get this cut out, I'm making sure that I cut it on the inside of that little circle, because if you cut it on the outside of that circle, then it always ends up being way too big. So I cut it on the inside of the circle I traced, and I'm making sure that I put the print down at the bottom. And what you see me doing here, the reason why I had to turn it away from the camera, is I'm trying to line up my stripes where they go straight up and down 90 degrees to that little piece at the bottom, because mine has stripes and I didn't want them to be going zigzag or diagonal, whatever you call it. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm taking my glue stick and I am putting it all on the face of what was the thing. And because I sanded it, it had little grooves in it, which is going to help this piece of paper stick to it really good. And I'm going back in there and making sure my lines are lined up. And the reason why I used the glue stick versus the hot glue was because it's going to give me a few minutes to work with it and get it straight. And when I put this next piece on, it's going to cause it to adhere even more. So I'm just pressing it on to my, yeah, hold on. The next thing I'm doing is taking my little sanding block that came from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going all the way around all the edges, making sure that I don't have anything hanging over. And as I'm doing that, that's also pressing the glue that was along the edges back into the project, and it had so much extra glue on it that it started coming out the sides and getting on my hands, and I had to clean it up. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take out my little reindeer ornament that came from the Dollar Tree. And what I was showing you is make sure it has that little bell on it, because I picked up two of them, but only one of them had the little bell. And I'm going to take the bottom of this, or the back side of this ornament, and what I'm doing is seeing where I want to place it on the ornament. And now I'm going to tell you, the closer you place it to the bottom of that disc is going to be better than placing it at the top, because if you place it at the top, it's going to be too tight, or not tight, what's the word, it's going to be too high up, and it's going to cause your nightlight to keep wanting to fall out of your socket. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking my sanding sponge and I'm sanding off all the glitter and stuff on the back of this and making it as smooth as possible with some roughed up edges, because I want it to adhere to my little disc perfectly. And you guys, if you haven't seen these little vacuums, you should get you one. They're on Amazon. I got mine years and years ago, so I'm not even sure if the same people were in, but it's just called a desk vacuum. Those are lifesavers. So, okay, you guys, next thing I'm doing is putting plenty of hot glue. And you guys, this Surebonder glue gun is really good because it has the tip of it. It's real small, and you can put out small amounts of glue in tight places. But the one thing I don't like about it is I am constantly having to push that glue stick in, and a lot of times I'll use my chin to push it in because I'm holding that with one hand and the piece that I'm gluing in the other hand, so I have to use my chin to push it in. But you want to make sure you get plenty of glue on this, because we want to make sure that this stays on there and doesn't fall off. And I got so much glue on there that it kind of seeped around the edges, but that worked out for me because I'm putting another piece on after I get this glued down. And I'm just adjusting it, making sure it's down at the bottom and that it's straight up and down on my piece. Okay, guys, I'm taking a piece of that 10-inch jute rope that I had from the deer garland that we made. And that's just a piece of jute rope, and I took it apart into 3 pieces. That's that nautical rope, I should say. And I took it apart in the 3 sections, and this is one of those sections because I had some of them left over. And I'm just wrapping it around the edge of this, and it's staying because I put too much glue on it, and that's the reason why it worked out for me. And then I'm going to just trim this piece off right here. And the next thing I'm doing is I made a little jute bow out of some pieces that I had left over. And then I'm going to just take and glue it down to the bottom right under that jingle bell at where my jute rope and everything came together. And you guys, I think this little nightlight just turned out absolutely adorable. Yes, I do. This is my favorite one that I made today out of all of them. I think this is going to be on one of my Christmas gifts that I give away. I'm not sure. I don't know. I might keep it for myself. I just love it so much. Voila. And that's number 1 done. Now on to project number 2. I took me one of these little wooden Christmas trees that I got from the Dollar Tree. And that is a Christmas card that I got in a pack of Christmas cards from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to trace it out. I'm going to lay my Christmas tree. Now, why you see me picking that part of the card is because there's a little red truck on there. And you know me and my little red trucks, I just love them. So I'm going to take and see, there's a little red truck. And I took the sticker off the back. And I'm going to put my tree down, and I'm going to just trace around it and get ready, and then I'll cut it out. Okay, I'm going to just finish tracing it out, and then I'm going to cut this out, and I cut all the other pieces away. And for some reason, I thought y'all needed to see me cut this out because you might not know how to do it. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and I'm making sure that my tip is opened up because this hasn't been used in a while. And I'm going to put plenty of this around the edges of it. And again, the reason why I'm choosing this glue is because it dries fast but not too fast. And this is going to help my little Christmas card stay to the back of it. And you guys, I guess I thought you needed to see me figuring out how to get that pen back in there too. Anyway, we're going to just take and glue this down, and I'm kind of moving it around because I want to squish that glue over to the very tip of the edges. Now, I don't worry about this hanging over the edge. It does on some places, but the reason why I don't is because of what we're going to do next. Next, we're going to take this drop cloth, and I'm going to, the first layer, because we have 3 layers to the tree, the first one I'm going to take 3 of the 2-inch by 10-inch drop cloth pieces, and that's not what I'm doing. Sorry guys. I'm going to glue, I took 2 Jenga blocks that were the same color as the tree, and I glued them together. And then I'm watching to see what I did next. Next, I'm going to take and glue the 2 Jenga blocks that are already painted. Now, these Jenga blocks come this color because this is in that multicolor pack. And I like to pick those up when I can find them. But you guys, have y'all been able to find these Jenga blocks in the store? Because I'm running out of them and I haven't been able to find them. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my Jenga blocks, and because I already put the card on the back of the tree, I'm going to put this on the front of the tree, but it's not really going to matter, and you're going to see why in a few minutes. So I'm going to just glue this down really good. You probably should throw some wood glue in there. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm taking 3 of these drop cloth pieces that are 2 by 10 inches. I glued 3 of them together at the ends. And next thing I'm doing is I'm taking my jute rope that was left over, nautical rope that was left over, and I'm gluing it down to those 3 pieces. So what you're going to need is you're going to need one with 3 pieces, one with 2 pieces, and one with 1 piece. And you're going to do each of them on each tier of the tree, and you're going to start at the bottom of the tree. Okay, and this will make a little bit more sense in a minute when I show you the other part of the video. But I just keep gluing down. I don't know why I thought y'all needed to see all this, but each of my strips, so one's going to be 30 inches, one's going to be 20 inches, and one's going to be 10 inches, okay? And that's what you need for your tree. Okay, so you see I already got some of them glued, but this is how you're going to make your ruffles. You guys, the ruffles I made on the first layer down at the trunk did not turn out right. The ones that I did on the second one did not turn out right. This is the way you should do it. You just put some hot glue down on your piece. Now this is just my 10-inch piece. And I showed you this because this one's going to be easier to do. You just put hot glue down and then you pinch it together, and you want to make sure you got them little fingers on, because I burnt my fingers, okay? And I got glue everywhere. But I just started pinching them together. You know, you could probably even use a stapler if you wanted to. And I'm just going to continue to make this whole piece into one big ruffle. And this is the way you should do your first layer that's 30 inches. This is my 10-inch strip now. Each strip goes on a different layer. Although I had to cut this one down because it was too long when I got ready to put it on. But this is the way you do it, okay? Don't do what I did on the first 2 layers. And I didn't show you those mistakes. Okay, so yeah, I got glue all over my fingers, and I got to get it off because it's hot. Okay, so this is what you should have. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start at the edge of your tree. And you guys, it's sticking to my fingers because it's still hot. Okay, so we're going to put glue right down here on the edge of the tree, right against the edge of the card. And then we're going to take that end. And it's okay if it's frayed, because this is supposed to look that way. And you're going to take and stick it down. And you watch. I'm not even using that silicone finger because I just must like to get burned or something. I'm not sure. Oh, you guys, I'm sorry I got it out of frame. I'm just trimming that edge up because I left too much hanging over. So now I'm going to take and put this layer down. And this is the way you should put all of your layers down. And then when I get through fumbling this around, you'll see what you're supposed to do. So we're going to put more hot glue on the other side of this. And then we're going to take and stretch it across there to where It's at the edge, and then we're going to flip it back and cut that. You want to make sure that you're cutting right up at the edge of that card. Okay, now don't throw that little piece away. You're going to need it for the top of your tree. Now you could go underneath there and put some more glue down, but I did after I stopped the video. So the next thing you're going to do is put a bunch of glue down up here at the point. And that little piece that you trimmed off, you're just going to take and put it on the point. Now, this is the way you should have done the whole tree, is layered it up just like I did this last piece. Okay? And then, let's see where we go next with it. My little strips are coming off, so I'm going to have to put a little bit more glue down and fix those. Now, you guys, the next thing I did is I took my 2 colored Jinga blocks, and I'm going to put glue on the base of the tree and stick it down. And I lost the footage, but what I'm showing you here is I wrapped the jute rope that I got from, I guess it came from Walmart years ago. I wrapped it around the base of the tree. I also glued on my 2 Jinga blocks at the base so that it would stand up. And I tied a little jute bow at the top of this. You guys, this turned out so cute. This is not what I intended to do when I started out making this tree. I was going to put buffalo plaid on it, but I saw all those pieces of drop cloth that I cut for that other project that I didn't use, that I just thought this was too cute. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm looking at this little reindeer. I wanted to put him in there so it would kind of go with my reindeer garland. My whole idea was I was going to set this in my bathroom with the garland going around my bathroom mirror, this sitting on the counter, and then my night light there with it. But this is what I'm doing. Something. What am I doing? Must be looking at something else. Hold on. Okay, you guys, I've took the little reindeer, and he has a little scarf on him. And what I did is I took a piece of jute rope, and I'm gluing it down to him so that he's still a little sparkly, but he's still a little rustic. And so I'm going to take and glue that jute rope right down over the top of where his little scarf is that's on him already. And then I'm going to take and put a lot of glue on. I'm going to trim this up. Maybe. Boy, I get really slow in these videos, don't I? I ought to speed them up. I try to speed them up, but then I get some people that don't want them speeded up. They want to see everything. Okay, now I'm looking to see how I'm going to attach him. And what I'm doing is I'm going to stick him in there where his feet touch those Jinga blocks on the back. So I'm going to put a lot of glue right here on his butt. And I'm going to stick him right in there inside those jute cloths like he's peeking out of that tree. Yep, that's what I'm doing. And then I'm going to take his feet and I'm going to glue them down right there at the edge of those Jinga blocks to give him a little bit more support. And you guys, I think this little tree just turned out too cute. Yes, I do. Now, I had to go back and glue this one again after I finished because he popped off. And if yours is popping off, it's because that glitter that's on them doesn't like to stick with the hot glue. So you have to kind of clean his little feet off first and then stick it back on there, or every time, or you have to get all the glitter off to make it stick. All right, y'all, we're back from our craft test, and we just made our cute little rustic drop cloth Christmas tree that we can sit in a tier tray, or in a display, or even on our bathroom counter. And then you could put this in as the night light in there, and I just think this is so adorable. I think the tree is too, but this is my favorite of the two that we did today. And you guys, this would go good with this garland that we made in this other video that I'm pointing to right here. Yeah. You guys, that'll do it for this episode of the Crafty Art Shack. We hope you like and subscribe and you're enjoying our videos. Leave us a comment below if there's something you'd like to see us do. And you guys, we're almost to that 250 subscriber giveaway. And if you haven't subscribed, watch this video because it's gonna tell you all the things that you need to do to be entered into the drawing, and we're getting close. We just might be there by our next video. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
I don't know what to do. You can't see the deer because he's too white. Hold on. Off color. Card. Yeah, that's what it is. On the back. And then our drop cloth stuff here. Yeah. Yep. I just think this turned out too cute. Yes, I do. Like this video. And something. Little, yeah. I got hair out of place right here. Anywhere in your house with... Yeah, it sure would. I think that this would just turn out too adorable. This... I messed up. I cracked myself up. This would also look cute with that deer garland that we hung up. That we made. Alright, you guys, we're back from the craft desk and we just made this cute little rustic drop cloth Christmas tree to put in a display. I think it's the lights. Yeah, that didn't even sound right. To all of our subscribers, we want you to know we love you very much and we appreciate you, and we are so grateful that you chose to join our channel here at the Crafty Art Shack, and we hope that you continue to watch our videos, and we appreciate you so much. We love you, and we'll see you later. Bye!